Welcome to the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast, a podcast where we teach speakers how to land paid speaking engagements and corporate contracts. Each week, we deliver high-quality content that teaches you how to level up your speaking business. Be sure to join the Speak Your Way to Cash Facebook group after having your mind blown by this information-filled episode. Now, here's your host, Ashley Kirkwood, lawyer and professional speaker. This is the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast.
Okay, awesome. So I will re-give you the acronym to reset the room, guys. My name is Ashley Kirkwood. I own Speak Your Way to Cash and a law firm called Mobile General Counsel. I host the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast and the Speak Your Way to Cash course and the Speak Your Way to Cash Academy. And also for everyone in here, I've gotten some messages on Instagram asking me to give out the discount codes that I gave out yesterday. So I will do that now, and then I'll answer this question. So if you're interested in speaking, you can click the picture in my bio and you're going to text Sunrise. It's all the way at the very bottom. You would miss it if you don't see it, but you're going to text Sunrise because this is the Sunrise speaker series. Text Sunrise to 312-847-4590 and I'll send you that discount code for the course. 312-847-4590. You can also text, like, if you don't want, like, you could text whatever. You can text legal, you can text speaking, but if you want that discount code specifically, text Sunrise to 312-847-4590 and I will text you back with that. If you're interested in applying for the Speak Your Way to Cash Academy, text apply to the same number, 312-847-4590. And I actually respond to those. So just go ahead and text me there. Okay. So one, I will say building your signature speech, it's a process that you're going to go through. The Speak Your Way to Cash course covers it. That course actually talks more about those one-off engagements versus the 5- and 6-figure corporate offers that we build out in the Speak Your Way to Cash Academy. So if you are interested in that, I would definitely look at the course. As a general rule, you may know a lot of things, but there is going to be some framework that undergirds everything that you do. It's how you operate. It's literally in everything that you do. And that's going to be the thing that you want to focus on. So in terms of building it out, you gotta first develop out what that true expertise is. So, and if you're interested, there's a training on this FAME framework. It's different than some of the other things, but if you all buy the course, I can just give you access to the additional training as well. But the F in FAME stands for friends and family. What do friends and family say about you? The A stands for who's the audience that can pay you for that expertise. The M stands for how can you monetize it? What are all the ways? Book, coaching programs, consulting services, etc. The E stands for education and or expertise, because it's not just about your education. At some point, you get so experienced in life that where you went to school is helpful as a tool if you use it, but it's not prohibitive. So it doesn't really matter whether you went to Harvard or whether you went to Prairie State Junior College if you're an entrepreneur and you're doing great in business. Like, no one's going to be like, well, you're not qualified to speak on this because you've only gone to junior college, even though you've had great success at something. The reason I teach about the FAME framework is because you want to make sure that whatever you speak on, it is something that you embody. It's not just something that you're speaking on it, but it's not something that you live by. So for me, my career as a lawyer, I was a trial lawyer before I started working for businesses. And one of the things that we have to do is to argue both sides of every case. So I am not easily offended by someone who has different opinions than me about something. That's why you'll really rarely ever see me posting something that's like, she disagreed with me, I had to blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't engage in like those types of debates. I think people can have different opinions and it's fine. And there's a way to validate someone's opinion without invalidating them as a person. So I talk about that to companies. Then I'm confident. So I talk about the currency of confidence primarily to colleges. But whatever you do, you want to make sure that you embody it. After you figure out that general topic, then you have to put a signature speech together. And there's a lot of different ways to do that, but that's going to be the process for it. I go through step by step how to do it. And a few people took the course and they were on here yesterday and they talked about how it was helping them with developing out their own. If you want to do something self-guided, the course is the way to go. If you want to build out a 5- or 6-figure corporate offer and your signature speech and everything else and just do it all at once, then you definitely want to do that. That's the program that Takora is in and Kelly and a few other people in the room. But it's really for people who are taking their speaking career to the next level. Like even if they've never been booked to speak before, they're going to start at the top of the market. They don't want to play around with like the one-time engagements. But if you do want to do the one-time stuff, then the course is good for that. I appreciate all of you, like being in this room, investing early on a Thursday morning. I don't take your time for granted. I don't take any of this for granted. I appreciate it. There's a lot of rooms you all could be in. You chose to hang out in the Sunrise Speaker Series and the Speaker Rated Cash Lounge. So I totally appreciate that. One thing I'll say, Jenny, just shoot me a text. Like it's going to take you through a process. You got to give them permission for them to text you, but you can text like full sentences or whatever to that number. And I may just voice note you back what I recommend based on what you are seeking to do. You've already built a brand, I can tell. So I'm following you now on Instagram. So it's just a matter of figuring out what's the best place for you to go. I also see that you speak now. So we just want to make sure that you are positioning yourself to land those bigger engagements. Because I'll tell you guys, the real reason I started doing Speaker Rated Cash was just because now I have a baby, I have a husband, and my husband, he told me, he was like, girl, you can't be leaving this house for these little checks. Like he was just like you need to figure it out. And all the speaking coaching programs on the market at the time were really focused on the one-time engagements and not the long-term, like hardcore long-term corporate selling. And so I came up with Speaker Rated Cash Academy after having success, just like leveraging 5 clients, getting larger contracts, serving them at a deeper level. Because I was like, I don't want to keep doing these smaller engagements that aren't transforming organizations and aren't serving my long-term legacy goals for my company. So if that's you too, then we should be hanging out in the academy together. A lot of great people are in it. It's a really, really high level group of women. And I think if you scroll back on my Instagram, you'll see some of their pictures, but I need to do another post that like showcases them. We're putting together, because of Brittany, one of the women in the group, we're actually putting together a really beautiful branded referral book of all the speakers in the academy that I'm going to be able to send to clients when they're looking for additional speakers for conferences and programs. Because this week I've been asked twice about opportunities and I've been able to share those with folks in the academy, but I want to just have a book that's ready to go so people can easily shop with them and work with them. Yeah, you don't need to write a book. And I don't even have a book for what I teach corporations. I have a book, but I don't use it to teach corporations. It's actually called The Law School Hustle. That's my book. Now I am coming out with another book, but that book will be called Speak Your Way to Cash. So maybe corporate audiences can use it, but probably not, because I won't limit, I ain't gonna limit God, who knows? But it's really going to be geared towards speakers more so than the companies that I serve. But there may be elements of that book that are directly relevant to a corporate audience. So what I would do is take whatever element of that book is relevant to the corporate audience and pitch that piece of the book. And so if you've written anything, if you've done any articles, if you have a white paper, whatever you have that's directly relevant to what you sell, just send them that. You can also send them you can send them something directly. It doesn't need to be a book. It doesn't need to be that complex or that complicated. Even if you just record yourself today, I'm big on the today. Like if you could just record yourself today talking about the topics that you speak on and the things that you have to offer, you could send that. Like, hey, I'd love to hop on a call with you, but if you just want to peek into what I do for companies, then feel free to watch this. You know what I mean? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And so we have 2 programs. One is the Academy. That is the program where it's a group coaching program and element. And so you're going to be getting that accountability. We have bi-weekly calls. We get actual material and swipe copy and exercises to do. We're going to be checking in with folks through that program. It's very engaged. We also have a Facebook group and some other ways to keep engagement going. But for the course, it's self-paced. So it is on you 100%. The investment is significantly lower. There's not a coaching element. There's not a community element. There's not a accountability element. I will say, though, people have gone through it and held themselves accountable to that. But if what you're looking for is like community accountability and coaching, the other big piece of the academy that I think people love is that, let's say you send out a pitch email, it doesn't work out, but you have the email exchange, you can submit that email exchange for my review. If you update your website, you can submit your website for our review, And so we're actually hands-on walking you through that process, seeing what you're doing and giving feedback. I would say in real time, like, of course, there's like a turnaround time, but we're giving feedback on what you're doing for the academy. So if you're interested in that program, it's a really high-level program for experts. There is a short application. It's not that long. Just text apply to 312-847-4590. And I'll shoot you over the application. The application is also in the link in my Instagram bio. I do a lot more. I give a little bit more statistical information in my corporate presentations, but the biggest difference is really just the energy of the audience. College students are super hyped. So if you want to get their attention, especially if you're talking to freshmen, it's also a difference between freshmen and seniors. But if you're talking to freshmen, they're super hyped. So I go on stage, I'm like jumping up and down, like it's very high energy. Whereas corporate is a little bit more, they're interested in the information. And if you can be engaging and funny and everything else, they're surprised because they're used to sitting in boring trainings all day long. So, they'll pay attention, but they have a natural, some corporate audience have a natural like, oh my God, another training. You know what I mean? Whereas college students, they're testing to see if you're going to keep them engaged. But if you're engaged and hype and ready to go and engaging and funny, they're going to give you that same energy back. Yeah, absolutely. So a couple of things. One, you want to make sure that it sounds like you need to find your people who you're willing to speak to, but also you have to make sure that your narrative about corporate America doesn't prevent you from making the impact that you're supposed to make on the world. So some companies can't handle you, but there is a company that can, because you just told me that the teeth whitening company wanted you to come speak, and that'd be corporate. So sometimes we have to challenge those narratives to make sure they're not prohibiting us or preventing us from operating fully in who we're supposed to be. So keep that in mind. But in terms of the next steps in finding your people during Rona, the other narrative you want to challenge is like coronavirus happened and everything stopped. That's not true. If you go to AshleyNicoleKirkwood.com/holiday party or click the link in my bio about the holiday party, you will see the holiday party that we threw this year to our clients. 2 of them 10x their revenue. 20K to 200K on one side. The other one was 1 million to 10 million on the other side. So that was during Rona. So everything didn't stop. And I say to challenge those narratives because sometimes when we think that things aren't happening, that becomes our worldview and that informs our actions. Whatever you believe, the currency of confidence teaches all about mindset, beliefs, and actions. Your thoughts become your beliefs becomes your actions. I've looked at your Instagram, so I know you understand that fully. So you want to make sure that those beliefs are fully serving you where you're at. Rona happened, everything didn't stop. What may have stopped, and what stopped for a lot of people, is they stopped doing business because fear started to paralyze. And so you want to make sure now, during Rona, the way that you pitch, everyone is used to it being virtual. It's almost like second nature. And they're also used to the fact that they're not getting a discount because it's virtual. My highest paid single engagements have both come during this time. They both come during this time. And so you want to make sure that you're consistently inviting people to work with you because that's the way you're going to get revenue. But also make sure that when you decide who you're going to work with, you don't bring any heat to the situation that doesn't need to be there based on your past experience. So my recommendation, you define your audience, consistently work with them and pitch to them. I typically follow up with people probably between 5 to 10 times before money is exchanged on the speaking side. So if someone says no once, twice, or it's not that they're saying no. Sometimes they'll say, hey, you got to follow up, or I don't have a budget yet, or I don't have this yet. People are like, no, I'm not interested. I'm not about to keep talking to them, at least not in the same year or the same quarter. But you have to follow up a lot of different times. So that would be my recommendation. Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast. Real quick, I would love if you applied to work with us at Speak Your Way to Cash. In fact, I have created a short application that would let me know if you are the right fit. If you are a speaker looking to land 5- and 6-figure speaking contracts, you should 100% apply to be in the Speak Your Way to Cash Academy. And here's the beautiful thing. If you get accepted into the Academy, you are automatically able to listen to a 2-hour training where I break down the paid method that myself and my clients use to land 5- and 6-figure corporate speaking contracts. All you need to do to apply is go to AshleyNicoleKirkwood.com/apply. Go to AshleyNicoleKirkwood.com/apply. Again, go to AshleyNicoleKirkwood.com/apply. Now, if you want to make it even easier and you're already on your phone, pull out your phone and text me. That's right. You can now text me directly to apply and to learn more about working with Speak Your Way to Cash. So you can text me at 312-847-4590. Again, 312-847-4590. Just text me apply to 312-847-4590. All right, guys, let's get back to this great episode. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I am going to speak to that. So all of you who are watching or listening to this, rather, you want to click that little plus icon at the bottom of your screen and invite your friends, because I'm going to dispel a really, really, really big myth right now. One of the things that speakers think is that they have to charge based on their experience speaking. You should be charging based on the transformation you're going to provide. So the value of the information that you're going to provide your audience should set the price, because people can pay like water. We go in the water aisle. I buy Fiji every now and then if I'm feeling fancy, you know what I mean? But it tastes pretty much the same. Like if someone were going to put all the waters in front of me, I don't know if I would be able to taste the various differences between Fiji and Dasani and Aquafina and purified water that I got from Sam's the other day. I'm not sure, but you buy based on perceived value. But I like to make sure that we're buying and we're making sure that people are engaging with us based on the value that we provide. And also, as a speaker, it was one of my clients' first times ever doing consulting services and consulting/speaking services, putting out a big proposal. That proposal's value was $70,000. And that was the first time she was able to do something that big. I think it was 70 or 80. And they accepted part of the proposal at a way higher rate than what she was charging before. And I say that to say, if you have a process by which you're going to go after and get these engagements, and this is what coaching and investing helps you to do, it helps you to skip the line. At the end of the day, people hire coaches to skip the line. You hire because it's I don't want to read 50,000 books, listen to 75,000 podcasts, listen to 25,000 things. Tell me what's the formula? What's the formula? And if you tell me I need to invest a year so that I can eat for 10 years, I'm investing the year. I worked with a coach last year, and she was able to just see my business in a different way. And the ideas that she gave me help us to quadruple our revenue and get us to levels that we wouldn't have gotten to otherwise in the same period of time. So it's not always about we would have never did it without this one coach. Yeah, maybe you would have gotten there eventually, but how long would it have taken? So in terms of pricing, I don't think you should consider your experience. I think you should consider the value of what you're providing. And I wouldn't worry about charging too much. The most they can say is no. I like it when I give my price and the company has to say, all right, awesome. Let's try to get authority for that. And then let's follow up with a call. When they say, let's follow up with the call, on that same conversation, I am booking the additional call. I'm booking the file, on the call, I'm literally sending the calendar invite or sending my admin to send the calendar invite today for us to talk to them. So I don't allow those opportunities to kind of get away from me like that. People think if someone says, oh, I got to go get authority, I got to talk to someone else, that it's an automatic no because we're used to instant gratification, but it's not. It's really, really not. And if you think about it, you may spend 45 minutes or an hour on the phone with someone and they end up giving you a $20,000 contract to do an hour and a half worth of work. That's not a big deal. And you can outsource a lot of that contract as it relates to developing the materials and all that other stuff, which is a whole nother thing that we could talk about later. But it's just your price is not based on the market. But if you do not have the confidence yet to charge based on the market, then I can tell you the averages. In college, they're used to anywhere from $3,500 to $5,500. High schools junior colleges are $3,500 below, really around the $2,000 range is really comfortable for them for one-off. High school is even less. And then corporations, it runs the gamut. $3,500 to $7,500 is pretty average for a one-off workshop. They also pay more for keynotes. But at the end of the day, those are all averages. But I'll tell you, we've had colleges pay us upwards of $13,000 to $14,000 for a 45-minute presentation. So those averages don't really matter. It's all about how you present the package to them and what you're going to give them and their confidence in your ability to transform their organization, which is why I don't recommend starting at the bottom of the market. The way you spoke is not speaking for free. You were probably involved in some marketing. That's a little bit different, showcasing opportunities, marketing to expand the brand. Those are different. That is strategic. That's a strategic way to use the art of speaking. So I'm not putting that in the same category as speaking for free. But the reason I don't recommend you price based on the market is because you will typically undervalue yourself and you'll group yourself with other speakers that have to do 50 engagements a year to make $100,000. So they're getting paid $2,000 to $3,000 per engagement. That's not who you want to be grouped with. Most of us on this call, I've seen you all's bios. We have degrees, expertise, businesses, family. Some of y'all got kids. I got a kid. Like, I can't be out here for $2,000 wasting. Like, I'm not spending time with my daughter because I'm doing something for $2,000 for a like, it just doesn't make sense at some point. And so you want to build that speaking business by starting at the top. And that's why the Academy is the only program teaching people how to start at the top of the market with high level 5-6-figure corporate offers and pitching licensing agreements from the get-go versus starting at the bottom with those one-off engagements. Now, if you're at the one-off stage, we have a course for that. But if you want to go the different route, which I highly recommend, then I would recommend that you apply to the Academy. For those just joining, this is the Speaker Rated. I'm Ashley. We're in the Speaker Cash Lounge, and we're talking about speaking. If you came a little bit later, you want to learn more, you can just text speaking to 312-847-4590. If you want to learn more about the Academy, where we talk about those 5- and 6-figure offers, you can just text apply to 312-847-4590. But I have so many resources. You can text me and we'll make sure that you get what you need, get where you need to go. I can't believe we've been in this room for almost 3 hours, y'all. This is it. We're not bringing no one else up to the stage. This is it. We're going to do these last two, then I got to go. Yeah, so this is one of the things that we talk about in the Academy. If you have a proprietary framework that you walk your clients through and you know it like the back of your hand, you can hire someone to actually bring that idea to life, make the slide decks, make the extra stuff, whatever it is. So after you get that contract in hand, you know how much you're going to spend on the contract. The development, the graphics, the assets, all that other stuff can be outsourced and you pay a fraction of the cost for that, but then you develop it. But you're going to have to guide them through the proprietary process. So we as speakers, we sell our intellectual property and our intellectual capital. So one, everyone who works with me, even if I'm interviewing you and talking about something secret, you sign an NDA. Also, I trademark my signature speeches, the Love Framework, trademark pending, the Currency of Confidence, trademark secured, Speaker Rated Cash, trademark secured. Our firm, Mobile General Counsel, does trademarking. We have copyrights on our stuff. So like, you want to make sure that you protect your intellectual capital before you start bringing other people in to outsource it and do all of that. You can also develop a whole speaking program and just license it out. Some speakers don't have a signature speech. So they can buy your signature speech and then you license it out to them for an annual or a monthly fee, however you want to set it up. So there's different ways to do it. And that's one of the things that makes our program unique. So I'm a lawyer and a speaker. So I understand intellectual property. My firm handles that, Mobile General Counsel. But on the speaking side, we're thinkers. You know what I mean? So as long as you can think it and you can come up with a framework for it, you can literally outsource other pieces of it. Yeah. So one, a lot of people are hiring for therapists right now, therapists that can talk about wellness holistically versus grief specifically. I think most companies, when they bring someone in, they want to make sure that that person can speak to a greater principle that everyone needs versus a specific principle that only some will identify to. And that even varies. That's like as a general rule. But that varies, right? Like, so I would recommend that you look at some of the other speakers who have similar credentials and see kind of how they set up their programs and get some ideas about that in the marketplace. But yeah, so developing out signature speeches and programs and all those ideas, like that's something that we can chat more about in the VIP day. Just shoot me a text message. But I do recommend, I think right now, corporate wellness is where a lot of the therapists that I work with are thriving, not grief specifically, but wellness. However, there may be a way, because people are dealing with grief in the workplace. It's just a matter of, is that, like, if you look at employee assistance programs, is there a way that you can develop out an employee assistance program that may help people to get through that particular thing as well? Definitely. I think there's a lot of areas that you can go with that. But if you want to learn more, just shoot me a text message and we will talk soon. But thanks so much for rocking with me.
All right. Wasn't that interview amazing? If you're anything like me, you have pages full of notes. But here's the thing. Before you head out, I want you to go to facebook.com and join the Speak Your Way to Cash Facebook group. That is where I am. That's where a ton of other speakers are, a ton of other people who listen to the show. We all congregate there and chat. And it's 100% free. Now, if you're ready to take your speaking career to the next level, I have two ways for you to do that. One, you can go to ashleynicolekirkwood.com/SYWTC live replay and pick up the live replay. That training is 7 modules, chock full of information. It's crazy. Go over there, read all about it. Or if you want a more personal experience, you're already you already know that you want to be a speaker. You're ready to fully commit and you want someone to walk you through it and save you tons of time Googling and doing it on your own, then book a VIP day with me. You can go to AshleyNicoleKirkwood.com, scroll down until you see the VIP day section and get more information on that there. All right. Thank you guys again for watching. Please do not forget to leave us a review. That is how we keep this train rolling and get some of the best speakers in the world to get on this show. So please, please, please leave a review. Shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram, and Facebook in the Speak Your Way to Cash group, Instagram at the Ashley Nicole Show. And I'd be more than happy to chat with you and say hi. All right, y'all have an awesome, awesome day.